Hello, my dear bachos, and welcome back. Your favorite tutor is here, and you know what that means. Another chapter made super simple just for your exams. Today, we're going on a time travel adventure to a city that was so grand, its name literally meant City of Victory.
Okay, just look at this picture. Wow. These are the gorgeous ruins of Hampi. I'm sure you've seen reels and photos of this place on Instagram, right? It looks so calm, so peaceful. You can just imagine going on a school trip here.
But hold on, what if I told you that these quiet, peaceful ruins were once a massive, bustling city? A city that was bigger and even grander than ancient Rome. Can you believe it? Yes, welcome everyone to the mighty city of Vijayanagara. And what does that name mean? You guessed it, the City of Victory.
Okay, so here's our game plan for today. Our tour plan. We're going to make a few quick stops to break this chapter down. And trust me, by the end of this, you'll have every important point ready for your exam. So are you ready? Let's go.
All right, first up on our tour, the City of Victory. Let's dig in and find out exactly how this incredible city was born.
Okay, pen and paper ready? Here are the absolute basics you have to remember. First, the name itself means City of Victory. Got it? Good. It was founded way back in 1336 by two brothers, Harihara and Bukka. And today, what do we call this place? Hampi. And that name, Hampi, comes from the local mother goddess Pampa Devi. See? Simple stuff.
Okay, next stop on our tour. Let's talk about kings and power. I mean, how did these kings manage such a massive empire? What was their secret? Let's find out.
Listen up, this is super important. If you remember only one king from this entire chapter for your exam, it has to be this guy, Krishnadeva Raya. Star mark his name. His rule was the absolute golden age of the empire. Everything was flourishing, there was peace, lots of money, and so much power.
So, what was the king's big secret, his management mantra? It was this really clever system called the Amara-Nayaka system. Now think about it like this. The king is like the CEO of a giant company, right? And the Nayakas? They are his regional managers. The king gives each manager a territory to look after. In return, the managers collect taxes, send a part of it back to the CEO as tribute, and, this is the important part, they also maintain an army for him. Super clever, nah?
Okay, bacho, pop quiz time. Exam practice. Let's see if you've been listening. Go on, pause for a second and try to answer this in your own words. What was the Amara-Nayaka system? I'm telling you, this is a pet question for examiners.
Okay, ready for the perfect full marks answer? Here you go. It was a political innovation of Vijayanagara. The Amara-Nayakas were military commanders. The king, or the Raya, gave them territories called Amara. And what did they do? They collected taxes and kept an army for the king. Make sure you write these points down, okay?
Okay, everybody, back on the bus. Our tour is moving on. Our next stop is the city itself. And you guys, Vijayanagara wasn't just a big city. It was a fortified, super smart city. Like a 14th century smart city.
Just look at the engineering skills here. On the left, you can see their fortification walls. Get this, the stones were shaped to fit together perfectly, like a jigsaw puzzle. No mortar, no cement needed. And on the right, that's part of their amazing canal system that supplied water to everyone. Just wow, isn't that incredible?
But wait, their most brilliant idea, the one thing that made foreign travelers go, whoa, was this. They didn't just build walls around their palaces and temples. No, they built massive walls around their agricultural fields, their farms. Now, why would they do that? Think about it. If an enemy army came and laid siege to the city for months, the people inside would still have their food supply protected. See? That's what I call a smart city.
Okay, now we're going inside the city walls, into the VIP zones. We're going to check out two main areas. The Royal Center, that's where the king and all the important people lived, and the Sacred Center, which was the religious heart of the city.
So, this huge platform you see here, this is the Mahanavami Dibba. The best way to think of it is like a giant royal stage. During the huge 9-day Mahanavami festival, the king would be up here, watching parades, dances, even wrestling matches. It was basically a massive show of power, and it's also where all his Nayakas would come to pay their yearly tribute.
And wow, check out this beauty. Isn't it gorgeous? Later on, British travelers called it the Lotus Mahal because, well, it looks like a lotus bud. Now, historians aren't 100% sure what it was used for, but the best guess is that it was a royal council chamber. You know, a fancy meeting room where the king met his advisors.
Now, one thing about the Vijayanagara rulers, they were experts at fusion. Like fusion music or fusion food, they would see cool ideas from other cultures and blend them into their own style. Let's have a closer look at what I mean.
Okay, look at the two pictures. On the left, see that arch shape and the dome on top? That's what we call Indo-Islamic style, which they picked up from the Sultanates in the north. And on the right, that massive, towering gateway is a gopuram, a totally classic South Indian or Dravidian style. The Vijayanagara kings just took that tradition and made their gopurams even bigger and more grand to show off their power. It's a perfect mix, right? And speaking of amazing things, here's the famous stone chariot at the Vitala temple. This isn't just a statue, it's an entire shrine carved out of solid stone to look like a chariot. It's dedicated to Vitala, who is a form of Lord Vishnu. Just incredible craftsmanship.
Okay, bacho. Now we come to the sad part of our story. I mean, how could this incredible city of victory actually fall? And how on earth was it rediscovered after being lost for so long?
Here's how it happened. The key date to remember is 1565. That's when the Battle of Talikota took place. The Vijayanagara army was defeated by a combined force of the sultanates. After the battle, the city was attacked, looted, and destroyed. In time, it was completely abandoned and just forgotten. It wasn't until 1800 that an engineer, Colonel Colin Mackenzie, stumbled upon the ruins and started to piece its incredible story back together for the world. All right, our tour is coming to an end. So before we wrap up, let's do a super quick lightning round revision of all the must-know points for your exam. This is the most important part, so pay close attention. Ready? Here are your exam takeaways. Point 1, Vijayanagara means City of Victory. Point 2, most famous king, Krishnadeva Raya. Point 3, key political system, the Amara-Nayaka system. Point 4, their unique smart city feature, fortifying the agricultural land. Point 5, important buildings, Mahanavami Dibba, Lotus Mahal, and the big temples. And finally, point 6, how did it end? The Battle of Talikota in 1565. If you remember these 6 things, you're golden. Got it? Awesome. So, my dear Baksho, that's the story. The city fell, yes, but its story didn't disappear. It survived, carved into these amazing stones for us to find. And it really makes you think, doesn't it? What can we learn today from a city that blended power, faith, and such brilliant engineering all those centuries ago? It's something to think about. You all did great today. Keep up the hard work, and I'll see you in our next explainer. Bye for now.